Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm doing a bag baby repotting that I just bought at Lowe's a couple weeks ago, and I decided I better get this thing potted up or I might end up in trouble like some other times whenever I don't get around to repotting. I have my two orchid books here. This one I paid 25 cents for at a thrift shop. This one I paid $5 also at a thrift shop. This one doesn't have any information about the bag baby I just bought, but this one does. And this is a Brassavola, and they abbreviate it by, whoops, there's how to pronounce it. Oh my, I should have practiced this ahead of time. Hang on a second, everybody. Alright, I'm back. It's Brassavola. I guess you have to emphasize the sa. And its abbreviation is B. Sympodial, which means there are many feet. Not one, like Phalaenopsis. Medium to high light, temperature intermediate to warm, flowering summer to autumn, and care is beginner, yay. So it talks about the culture, and this is the one I have, Brassavola nodosa, and it doesn't have how to say it, but I'm going to read what's here. It says, commonly called the Lady of the Night in Latin America for the exquisite evening perfume. The 3-inch long flowers of the nodosa may be white with tiny purple dots on the lip to greenish white on the cream. There is variation. I don't have the right glasses on, so pardon my reading skills right now. There is variation in the fragrance too. The foliage is upright and ranges in height from a compact 4 inches tall to 12 inches tall. Unlike, I have no idea how to pronounce that, Redocio something, formerly B period Digbiana, I don't know. B nodosa does not need the dry rust period. It grows and flowers year-round in subtropical and tropical gardens. It can be attached to trees where it grows flowers with little care. Native from Mexico through Central America to Peru and Venezuela. It's also found in the West Indies. That's the one I have. Here's another beauty. Here's another variation. Another one. And look at that lovely lady. There's another one. Okay, this is my bag baby. I threw the bag away. It was in like a net bag like you buy onions. And this is not my favorite potting mix for orchids. It's coarse blend, but I didn't have the one I like. It also, I didn't realize it says feeds up to 6 months, but I'll still fertilize it in my nutrient water. I also added this bonsai perlite pumice to the mix. So here it is all mixed up. I don't like this very much because I don't like all this pointy stuff. So I'm going to try not to put that in the pot. This comes with a little tag. This one's called Little Stars. So Brassavola Little Stars. And it's a nodosa bicordata. So those are the parents for this hybrid. I'm going to pause for a minute while I get the other little basket because I'm taking all this junk off of the roots. Alright, I'm back again. I bought these throwaway cake pans at the dollar store. You can see the roots aren't in very good shape here. They're soft. I don't think they're dead. And this is in old bark. Look at that. You can tell it's old. So these bag babies Better Grow grows, and they're the same people that make the fertilizer for orchids. And Rick of Rick's Orchids on YouTube got in touch with them and asked them why the Better Grow orchid fertilizer doesn't have calcium in, and how do they supply the calcium. And they told him that they supply it by putting pelleted lime on top of the, or mixed in with the media when they repot, or on top of the orchid media when it's time to give them some more. Sorry about that noise. I didn't realize that was going to be. But see how terrible the bark is? Hang on while I get the rest off these roots. Alright, I'm afraid to let my cell phone sit too long without filming. But you can see some of these roots are very tender, and I think I'm just going to leave them alone for now. Because I can always dump the pot like Carolyn on Jacqueline's orchids always does. Her channel is named after her and her husband. Her husband's named Jack and her name's Carolyn, so they spell Jacqueline Jacolyn. And she's the one who told me to start this YouTube channel. I don't understand what this is. I guess it's just a big piece that it's attached itself to. These roots are a lot more delicate than the Phalaenopsis roots, and I don't know what this hard thing is there. Hang on a second. Alright, I got most of the bad stuff off, but as I'm pulling this off, see how the root's growing right through that? As I'm pulling this off, it's like pulling the vellum off of these roots. So I think what I'm going to do, there are some bad roots, like right here. I'm going to show you how you can pull the vellum off. I'm a beginner. I've only been doing this a couple years, and I changed the way I do things. Before they used to say, cut the roots. Now they say, don't cut the roots, just take the vellum off. There's a close-up of the roots. I'm taking this dead vellum off. There's a lot of it down here. But you know, I don't know. I think I'm going to wait, because I feel like I'm damaging the roots more than I'm helping it. And these sheaths, I asked Roger of Roger's Orchids about the sheaths on my Cymbidium bag babies, and he said you can take it off. So I like to take it off. I don't like the dead stuff sitting there. I feel like it can go rotten. But I don't know what's wrong with this leaf right here. So I'm probably going to cut that one off. That's a whole little shoot, but I'll just cut it off below that. You can see it's losing its chlorophyll. In fact, it might be magnesium deficiency. Can you see the difference in the green there? I don't know whether it's focusing on that or not. But I'm going to get rid of that. That's the only one like that. So hang on a minute. Sorry, I keep pausing. This is what orchid growers are using now. It helps them save on potting media. And since it's inert, the orchids don't mind it. So I'm reusing, this was put in the, no, this wasn't put in the dishwasher. Thought this was the real clean one. Oh well, it's not going to hurt. I did wash it out in the sink with soap. But this one has nice big holes in the bottom, and it has that little dome right there that keeps the crown of your orchid up out. Now these orchids, from what I understand, since they're not monopodial, you're supposed to plant them up against the side after you figure out which side is the growth side and which side is the old side. So let me see if I can figure this out. This is, I think I saw Roger's Orchids or Ed's Orchids with this problem. Look how it's growing. It must have been growing up out of the pot and I didn't notice. So, it's either this end is the new end or this end is the new end. So, what do I do? What do I do? I fits in the pot. Let me put some mulch under the roots. Alright, I have some of the roots covered. There's a lot of dust in this one. So I'm sure whenever I soak my orchids in their nutrient solution, there's going to be a lot of brown stuff floating around. It's funny how orchids can take this rough handling, whereas if we were doing this with one of our other tropical plants, it might not do so well. Okay, since I couldn't decide which was the growth side and which was not the growth side, I just decided to pot it in the middle, and I'll watch it grow. I need to stick my fingers down in here and get this stuff down in among the roots. Alright, I'm going to pause for a minute. Alright, I've got as much down in here as I could. It's kind of floppy. So, I have a cute little butterfly pick to put here. So hopefully it'll help it stand up straight. And then I gotta put this in with it. Now my other bag babies, I took this and I put it around the pot with a rubber band, but they're in clay pots. So I'll cut this apart and just put part of it in. Here's the directions for repotting, but I don't pay any attention to them. After you potted 70 orchids, you sort of understand a little bit about their growth pattern, or you look it up on the internet or in an orchid book, and there's a lot of information. This one is endorsed by the American Orchid Society. That's probably why the 25 cents was well worth spending, because I found this orchid. This one is Better Homes and Garden, or Better Homes, yeah, and Garden. So I'm reusing one of the outer pots that I got one of my Phalaenopsis in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to soak this orchid in water for 24 hours so it can rehydrate itself and the bark can absorb the water. And I'll also be putting seaweed emulsion fertilizer in that helps root, plant, and flower growth, and will help this little guy out and give him a head start. And then next week he'll get watered on Sunday or Monday with my regular plants. So, thank you everybody for tuning into my video, and I appreciate you leaving a comment so I know you visited, and any helpful hints about this kind of orchid would be helpful, because this is my first one like this. So now I have 72 orchids, because I bought another Cattleya bag baby when I bought this one. So, everyone, be healthy, be safe, wash those hands. And they said every time you touch your mask, you're supposed to wash your hands before you touch it. So, make sure you wash those hands. And something I just read by Dr. Judy Mikovits, there's no L in her name, said that the soap residue that's on your hands will help kill the virus if you come in contact with it. So wash those hands, wash those hands, wash those hands. And don't be scared, be safe. Take your vitamin C, zinc, selenium, and vitamin D. Eat healthy, drink some hot tea with lemon slices in, and we'll get through this together. Thank you, my friends. God bless.